And we are live. This is another installment of BS Busters. And we're going to be talking about something that's, well, hasn't been talked about in a long time. No one's really been mentioning anything about it. But before we do, I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves, starting from my far left all the way to my closest left, because from my view, it just looks a certain way. There is a Double M. Introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up, people? Like, I'm kind. Can I come back on this one?
Okay, yeah, he's playing pocket.
It's like the final match of the tournament. Like.
Well, then you gotta beat that dude.
I did.
By Dragon Sword.
Hey guys, back here. I don't know what podcast I was in previously. And as I always say, back from the past into the present.
Okay, cool. Most of my podcasts will always be BS Busters. Occasionally I'll try to get something new off the ground, but BS Busters is what I'm known for. BS Busters is what my bread and butter on YouTube is. So, yeah. We're joined by the man who has the FU dummy / mannequin as his avatar. He needs no introduction, but he can introduce himself when he gets a chance.
Man just made 3 million, fam. I'm sick.
So
if only this was real money.
We're moving on to a man who also needs no introduction, but he's going to introduce himself anyway. Kenoshi, go.
Hello, my name is Kenoshi Balmanito, and I do the Magician's Secrets podcast, which is essentially ripping off the BS Busters. The different name, but yeah, I just wanted to report that the orange groves and the California orange groves have been infected with a insect that eats your brain if you eat the oranges.
Hey man, people want features. I'm sorry, I can't even do a good impression. I'm sorry. I need to be ashamed of that impression because it's not even very good. Followed next is Liger, aka one half of Enduro, but he can tell you the rest himself. Go ahead, sir.
I can't stop laughing for what Kenny shows. He's just bad.
Okay, then,
but anyway.
Everyone just needs to remember, when you buy those California orange juice stocks, remember, you need to tell that company to do whatever they need to do to make you happy, even if they go under, because fuck the company staying solvent and staying in business so they can provide you something, just make you happy. Remember that. This is sponsored by California orange juice.
Okay, but in a real though, yeah, as Ben just said, this is won't have Indo, and yeah, we're gonna do some BS busting today once again.
It's got to be busted. It's got to be busted. So we also have a dude who has a love-hate relationship with Chun-Li. Apparently. So you go ahead and introduce yourself, Chun-Li lover.
Alright, what's going on, YouTube? I'm gonna say this. Fuck everything that has to do with Webster Dictionary of the word rumor, according to YouTube.
Oh, rumors can't take it no more. This time he said it's me and the girl next door. That's from Nucleus, y'all. So before we get to Triple M, the Pokemon Red, the Black Pokemon Red, we've got Dr. Feelgood who has something he wants to say.
Fuck third parties.
Dr. Feelgood, you got something to say?
But you got Rayman Legends. I'm just fucking with you.
What you got? Man, I got it too. I downloaded it for $10. And look, I said 3 years ago when they did that bullshit, I said I'm not gonna buy this game unless it goes under $20, and it finally did, and I bought it.
Yeah,
all I got to say is Streetwalker 5 is for pussies.
Streetwalker 5. I'm glad you changed it up from fuck third parties. Yeah, it's good for you, son. So we also have the Black Pokemon Red. What do you have to say for yourself, Black Pokemon Red?
Well, it's actually Afro Pokemon Red, but hey,
I'm
starting.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended you, sir. Colored Pokemon Red.
Oh, that's even worse,
You
man.
triggered him.
No, as long as I don't call him the N-word, it's okay.
You triggered him.
It's in the name, the National Advancement of Colored People. Hey, I can get away with it.
God, Lord.
Yeah, hey, but starting the party from 006, my brother from across the pond, to ending with the lone wolf that is I, Triple M.
Mm-hmm. Well, technically, I haven't even started yet. Like I said, come back to me.
Yeah, because he's talking about he's gone that pocket crack. Now we got two crackheads in the cast. We got Pocket Crack and Mario Crack.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
I'm turning on the Wii U now.
I gotta.
1 second.
It's too strong.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm off the crack for the moment.
Okay, well you gotta give your intro.
Okay, I'm that artistic, somewhat twisted, breaking limits, lyrical criminal, breaking the laws of physics and the laws of standard English. Everybody's a witness to be a critic or a cynic, so I keep it real with the lyrics, but still throw in a couple of gimmicks, still can stay the realist, digging deeper into the spirit, cooking up for the mentally anorexic, serving dark matter on a platter, sweet like yellowtail snapper.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
Can I get back to the crack now?
Yeah, you go back to your crack. Go back
Go back in your hole.
Man, that was too cool. I just go back to your crack. I can't fight that. So the word of the day is
The word of the day, this is Sesame Street.
Well, we got to do this because people keep on talking about it. The word of the day is this. Ubisoft 2 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, dropped a game called The Division. Now, for those of you who don't know or who just don't care, The Division is a open world third-person shooter, sort of like first person. I'm pretty sure it's a third-person shooter. Third-person shooter loosely based on Tom Clancy novelization, where some type of something horrific has happened in the U.S. and the action in the game takes place in New York City and various boroughs and shit. But basically, you go around shooting people and scavenging supplies. It's like basically a decent cross between an RPG and a shooter, but not to the point where it's like shit.
Deep RPG.
No, I was gonna say Borderlands. It's not Borderlands RPG-ish, but it's more like Rise of the Tomb Raider, except more shooting and less, and you have to always be online in order to play it because it tracks your statistics, and things that players do in the game affect the overall gaming environment. So I guess that's cool. I don't know. I played like 10 minutes of the beta, and I was like, this game isn't for me, and I deleted it. So I'm just telling you what I've heard and what I've seen. I'm not really like a huge, whatever. So but the reason I say that is to say this. The Division came out, and Ubisoft claimed that it's broken all sorts of sales numbers. It's like, it's huge. It's destroyed all things. Now, they also said the same thing about Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much, like, we know how many people played the beta. We don't know how many people actually bought the damn game.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm wondering too. Like, are they considering whoever the number of people that played the beta as actual sales numbers?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I have a link here which I will share with you guys because I can do that.
Research.
Yeah,
Yo, man, just smacked out that promotion test one time.
So here we have the Division sets day one sales record for Ubisoft. Now, I've read this article 4 times now, and I've yet to see a single solitary sales number in here. They're like, this thing broke our sales projections. I'm like, well, what was your sales projections? Nothing.
They can't even say that.
It's,
Repeat what you just said, Red. Sorry.
they said they keep on saying that this game broke their sales projections, but they don't. There's no number that says what was their sales projection, so I don't know how much it sold. And multiple media, video game media websites have said this game broke all these records, and I'm like, well, where's the like normally when someone breaks a record, there's numerical evidence that this happened. Like in the Guinness World Book of Records, someone says I've chewed the most pieces of bubble gum. There's like a record of how many pieces you have to put in your mouth and chew before at one time before you can say that. And yet Ubisoft is saying this is the highest selling thing we've ever had. And there's no it's like someone going outside saying I'm the richest man in the world. It's like I don't believe you because anyone can say it. Where's the proof?
Okay. I'll go last on this topic. I'll let everybody else, if they have anything to say, let me go last on it.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Hold on. Before you go, Dragon. A notice. Keep in point. We're not targeting Ubisoft on this because there's been other companies that have done this as well, including Nintendo. Which every time when they do that, actually it makes me skeptical and almost to the point of hating them for doing that. But
yeah, but they don't. But when Nintendo does it, they don't go. They're like, wow, this is one of the highest selling things. Like this shit has sold more than we've ever seen before. And then you're right, it is kind of suspect. But then about normally like 2 or 3 days later or a week later, you get concrete numbers. It's like, oh, well, okay, those are concrete numbers. I can actually and when comparing it, it's like, wow, this actually has sold quite a bit compared to previous installments.
Which I'm let them slide if they do that.
Well, I mean, because normally they give you the numbers after the fact, which is why, if you give me the numbers when you say it, like, even if it's after, I prefer it at the same time, but even if it's after, I'm like, okay. I mean, it's basically kind of like writing a research paper and you have no bibliography from where your sources are. Like, I can't trust anything you say because there's no bibliography. You could have made this shit up, as far as I'm concerned. But I digress. So yeah, your thoughts, gentlemen.
Dragon Sword, continue.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I mean, are they like saying this like we have like the best sales, like day one sales to investors also? Because aren't they not allowed to lie to investors about like sales or something?
Well, I don't see anything in here about investors. What I see is that multiple media outlets have said that it sold, like, here we go right here. The Division sets Ubisoft sales record. Sounds like Ubisoft has another hit on its hands. This is Damon Hatfield, so yeah, that's a lot of credibility. The Division is enjoying the highest day one sales in Ubisoft's history. Ubisoft says the new game has sold more copies in its first 24 hours than any other game in its 30-year history. So we have another thing with Shack News that says the Division sales reach over 330 million worldwide during launch week, but they still don't tell you how many units were sold. They tell you how many users. They say the title surpassed 1.2 million concurrent users over the weekend, with players spending 100 million hours playing on Uplay in the first week. Yeah.
Well, I guess there's your guessing game. No, we have a clue. Now let's guess some more.
So I don't know. I don't know.
I found a clue.
Who wants to buy a clue? I can spot you. I can spot you a little bit of money to buy a clue. I don't know.
Can I ask the audience like on Millionaire or something?
Can you make a? Can you phone a friend? I don't know, man. So
we found a blue paw print on this information.
we got to clap it off. Blues Clues, Blues Clues. Blues, we can do anything that you wanna do.
Yeah, wrong.
So I have an article here from Eric Kane from Forbes. Now Forbes has been hit or miss over the when it comes to video games and tech.
Oh hell!
But he asked a very important question, and here's the headline of the article. The division breaks Ubisoft sales records, but they still won't show us the numbers. The division is already breaking records, according to publisher Ubisoft. The game has beat each of the company's other day one sale records for both retail and digital units sold. Ubisoft, well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, he says that they make all this bragging, but there's no physical evidence that they've given about anything being broken. So, I'm gonna stop screen sharing. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts about how much the division has sold?
All I can say is, great PR, Ubisoft. Now, where's the numbers to back it up?
I don't think it's totally PR. I think this is a survival tactic because, well, this will lead into a later topic about the Bendy Watch. Okay. Go ahead.
I'll just say, like, is Amazon, like, bestsellers still, like, a pretty accurate, like, sales kind of, like, prediction or something like that? Like, what do you think? I mean, nah.
Amazon bestsellers tells you where there's interest, but, like, the thing is, like, if Amazon had a bigger market share, like, Amazon is only about, I want to say, 20-30% of the market. Because a lot of people still buy a lot of their games from Walmart, Target, whatever their local store chain is, GameSpot, sorry, GameStop, stuff like that. They're not really, like, I use Amazon just because I have Prime, and, like, for me, Prime is slightly cheaper than going to GameSpot, even though Amazon is pretty foul too, but not quite as bad.
Less of evils.
Some more evil.
They're all evil, but it's just like I don't feel as dirty buying stuff from Amazon as I do from GameSpot. I mean GameStop. Like
same.
I feel like every time I go to GameStop, it's kind of like if you're a dude and you're driving and you stop by a place and you just really need to go to the bathroom, but you go inside and the bathroom's so dirty that you just like you know what? I can hold it. Like, that's how I feel about games. Like, there's times I had money in my pocket that I budgeted specifically to buy a game, and I'd go into GameStop and I'd be like, I'm good.
So basically, you compare walking to GameStop to walking to a bathroom of a truck stop.
Well, a dirty bathroom. A very, very dirty, disgusting, hasn't been cleaned in like 20 years. Just like you don't even want to touch anything because it just makes you feel dirty. GameStop's pretty dirty to me. I try not. The only time I go to GameStop is if it's like absolute, like that Mew card, and the other cards they have coming on this year, where you like if you want to get it, you got to go to GameStop. I'm like, damn you, Nintendo. But because I'm a Pokemon maniac and I don't cheat in my Pokemon games and do weird ass hacks in order to get things. I get it legitimately or not at all. So, yeah. So, gentlemen, back to you guys. Anyone have anything to say before Induo gives us the cut?
Well, they could have pulled Sony and Microsoft and blended some of their games together to make it look like the division sold more than it actually did.
Well, my only thing is like Assassin's Creed 2, I think, was their highest selling Assassin's Creed, and that sold across, I want to say 3 platforms because it was on PC, Xbox 360, and PS3. I think that sold like, what, 9-10 million? I thought that was their highest selling game.
Which Assassin's Creed you talking about? The first one?
The second one.
Oh, brother. Oh, the second one, okay.
The second one sold more than the first one. Sequels normally sell more than the first game.
More advertising money put into it. Possibly the sequels usually look better.
Okay, so that's all the guests anyone have, because I'm really am curious, because it's kind of, I'm like, okay, that's awesome, but how much is that? So without much ado, I guess Liger can give us the lowdown, or at least a hint, or a clue, or just write a ballpark estimate on a napkin and slide it over to us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, 9 million copies. That's a 2010 for Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay, there you go. I guessed 9 to 10. I was right. It was a guesstimation. Sorry. So, Induo, could you please, Liger, could you please?
Okay. All right. Well, basically what Ubisoft is saying is, as Red has been talking about, is their biggest sale that Ubisoft did. Because at first I heard some stories where people was talking about this was the best-selling new IP. I'm like, well, of all games, it can't be, because this ain't that. But that was, but that became, but again, I looked at more stories and it just certain people was putting out that whole new IP stuff, but after a while, but then people started putting, but I read all the stories I've seen that they put in Ubisoft, out of Ubisoft. So now, if you go to Ubisoft's IR page, if you, basically, first of all, Red is right. They really are not giving no numbers. Like VG charts, anything you want to think of, nobody's giving up no numbers, because even Nintendo, when Mario Kart came out, they gave you numbers. When Splatoon came out, they gave you numbers when it started selling well, but they have not given nothing thing. But if you go to Ubisoft IR pages, the closest summation I could get from their stuff, because without me being contract with them, like I have to. If you want to get any detail, you have to be contracted or be on their board to get the password and put your corporation information in so you could do stuff. And I don't have that no more, since the last game I worked with Ubisoft was Red Steel 2. Well, the summation would basically be about the fastest, the best-selling IP at now. I think. Okay, give me one more help there, Red. What's the question? What's the bragging right that they're saying before I make sure I'm not messing anything up?
The bragging right is that this is the highest-selling Ubisoft IP within the first day or week, or some very specific criteria.
I saw days a couple of times, but I saw days a couple of times. I saw articles, but I just want to make sure I'm going with you what you were asking. Right now, like I said, if the highest first IP, new IP that sell was, which is weird, because Assassin's Creed did it. They said Watchdog did it, but when you look at their numbers, Assassin's Creed was better than Watch Dogs. So it's kind of weird how that got switched around. If you look at the IR page numbers, those numbers I could see. But they're saying it's higher selling than Assassin's Creed. So my summation is around 1.5 mil on both consoles combined, all three on the PC, all of them combined together.
Oh, that's around 5. If you break it down evenly, that's around 500,000 per console.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably skewed more towards the PS4 crowd, just because that has the larger install base. But yeah.
They in the numbers that in the sale data they had, what they had of percentage, they didn't show which console had the most, which is the stupid part. That's, again, you have to have, if you're a business person, you have to get an IR page. For full disclosure, if I want to find out certain stuff about Sony, I have an account that I could go into the IR pages and look at stuff, because as a business, I want to know what my future entails. And now that I got a contract with Nintendo, I could do the exact same thing.
Yep, you're right.
But with Ubisoft, like I said, I don't have that. And right now I'm on my phone, because I could have showed it, but like I said, I'm on my phone and now not on my computer. But you will see the screen and they're gonna say, hey, what's your information, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and that's what you need to do. And my summation is 1.5. But again, I don't think this thing. like I said, to be honest, this thing, and right now, if you go to the IR page right now, they are, as Red said, they are pimping the hell out of this thing. Go to the IR page of Ubisoft and go to the slide page for this quarter. Division, division. I'm like, what the hell?
You know what? You know what the Division reminds me of? And
What?
I know some people are going to say, "You're reaching. You don't know what you're talking about, you bastard."
Try.
It reminds me of Darksiders 2. Remember
Oh, okay.
how THQ pimped the hell out of Darksiders 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were like, "This game sold so much. We made so much money off of this game."
They hyped the hell out of that game. And you know what happened? You know what happened to THQ? They went to hell. That's what happened.
They went. Well, I tell you this much. I think THQ. I think the hell that THQ went to would be preferable to becoming Vivendi's bitch, which is the reason I think that Ubisoft has spent money that they should be putting into making lower budget games that can sell maybe 1 million and make 100 million, 200 million, 300 million back. Instead, they're giving money to IGN and Polygon and all these different websites to make it seem like the Division is is the second coming of Jesus for Ubisoft. and the reason I think they're doing it is because they're basically this is kind of like in the wild where you hear about those animals that a snake is trying to eat them, so they puff themselves up to make themselves look bigger than they actually are, so that the snake doesn't try to eat them. And in this analogy, the snake is Vivendi, and the animal puffing itself up is Ubisoft.
Because their stocks, if you check out the latest stock this week is down 13%.
Yeah, because Vivendi, I mean, Ubisoft basically, Yves Guillemot and his brothers and his family, because Ubisoft was a family business at one point, they sold their souls to be big, right? They were like, we're going to be big like EA and Activision. And I'm going to tell you right now, being big is not necessarily what you think it's cracked up to be. It's not. I'm going to tell you right now, everyone always, like when we were kids, we would be like, man, I can't wait till I'm an adult. I tell you, if I could trade the bullshit I got to deal with as an adult to be a kid again, woo!
Do that in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. Someone gonna take care of me, and all I gotta do is go to school and keep my mouth and keep my nose clean.
Well,
and don't do stupid shit. Shit.
Well, this is the human problem: is we want what we can't have or what we don't have, and then when we have it, it's like, I don't really want this.
Well, I'm just saying that I was just bringing that logical. I mean, it seemed kind of weird how everyone was hyping it up, but this leads to a bigger problem. Why would the media, who one of the core templates of journalism is to search for the truth, hype up? I mean, sure, you got to get paid, you got to take that paycheck. Hype up a game and print stuff that says this game is the highest selling blah 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 blah, and there's no numbers attached to any of this. Zero.
Because they're paid shows. Remember that.
Well, it's not that they're paid shows. It's look, the games media right now is nowhere close to what it used to be, and we all know that. We've talked about it. Like again, Red, like we did on my podcast. I talked about like if you're gonna do like I'm not again like when I did my podcast this week about the whole Nintendo thing. I am not a journalist. But I could read kanji, and I went to Nikkei and read the story, translated the story. Now I did that, but IGN couldn't do that. They had to use this Dr. Whatever guy to do it, who's not a part of their team, they don't pay.
He's totally full of shit anyway.
No, but it answers your question, Red. If they can't do something like that, then games media is just full of crap because they don't go to the full extent of doing what it's supposed to do.
They don't do in law. They have this concept, and in journalism, they have this concept called due diligence, which means before you write anything, you make sure all your ducks are lined in the row. You have everything set to make sure you don't F up. Now, here's the thing, okay? Nintendo, except for the Virtual Boy, which was a total and complete failure, like, it only sold 70,000 units. They made, like 3-4 million of them, and it only sold 70,000, okay? And they pulled it before the year was out. But every other console they've ever made, they supported, like, 3-4 years into their next console. Like, they were still making, in diminished amounts, yes, but they still were, like, supporting it and repairing it and had sales. Third parties had games coming out for it. And in some cases, they would still have, like, I believe, like, Wario's Woods and the first true Kirby game that came out on the NES, like, came out, and yet the SNES was out at the same time, so it was kind of weird. So, I mean, I find it a bit like, it would be odd for Nintendo to cut support for a system that's making money with their new system coming out when traditionally they've always kind of supported their last home console and their new home console.
Yep.
That would be out of character. So if you're going to report something like that, you should. If you're going to report it, I'm not saying don't report it, but be like, look, this is out of character because traditionally they do this. So I would take this rumor with a grain of salt. Instead, they're like, this is going to happen. These headlines, goodbye Wii U.
Yeah.
But wait. But like I said, and Mike asked a question to me when we was doing an off-air chat, whatever. Like, okay, the guy was an analysis, and he because of what's going on in Japan with the sales of the Wii U, he thought, okay, this is what's happening because they can't make the people. It's so hard to find a game. Which again, of course, it's kind of hard to find a game when. And again, you can go back to Nikkei who reported this too. In December of 2015, the first 2 weeks before Christmas, they sold 300,000 units of Wii U. That's a lot of freaking hardware that is sold in 2 weeks.
Yep.
No, and they reported it, but again, of course, nobody outside like IGN and GameSpot, nobody reported that crap, which is funny how that works out.
Or how they'll show the sales for a game that the NPD charts or cover like the end of that month. The game will launch at the end of that month, and they'll only record like a day of sales. They're like, this game flopped. I'm like, motherfucker, they only covered 1 day of sales.
Oh gosh.
How does that work? That makes no sense.
Yeah, you're right. But the point I was gonna state though is like. They have it was analysis that this guy did because, like I said, I told you on my podcast, it wasn't LTD, it was Nintendo, whatever, blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, that's where my spider senses was tingling and saying something's not all right with that. But to say that we've talked about this on my podcast and the Red podcast as well too, like the Mario Kart Wii still sells to this day. They still sold 100. The last quarter, they still sold 100,000 Wiis. Now that's money that they would be losing out if they don't sell something like that. So this is just weird for them to come out and say this. And including as Red pointed out on the podcast of the whole Zelda U is still out and it's still got games coming out for the console.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, like I'm gonna give you guys a real world example, okay? I live in the DC metropolitan area. My businesses are there. They had the Cherry Blossom Parade, which means tourist season is beginning, which means my business season is about to really ramp up, okay? So
Yes.
it would be stupid for me to say, you know what? I'm gonna stop advertising to tourists and having little special deals for people who are coming into the city and first time people. I'm gonna cut that out and cut off my money making potential. Even though it costs a little bit to start it up, but I mean, those people will remember and become repeat customers and come back to my place when they come back into the city. It's a win-win-win. But I'm gonna cut that off because I'm coming out with something else later on this year in fall for Halloween. Like, that's just kind of like, really? Like, that makes no sense.
None of this makes sense.
You're right. It makes no sense.
But then those non-existent restock, which everyone is keep pointing their finger.
Look, here's the thing. People are looking at these numbers, and it's just like they're looking at 12 million and comparing it to what the PS4 has sold. But it's just like, if you're a company if you're a small company, because let's not forget, keep forgetting that Nintendo's just a small company.
They have less than 5,000 employees. So
if you're a small company and you've got a product out there that you're making profit on, and you've got games for that console that you're also making profit on, then it's take for instance, let me use music as an example. Take for instance, if Drake puts out an EP, it's gonna sell millions. We know it's gonna sell millions. If I put out an EP, let's say I sell to 10,000 people, times, let's say the EP costs £3. That's about 30 grand minus whatever tax and stuff like that. So I walk by with about 25 grand. I'm not going to be complaining. That's still a nice piece of profit that I made there. And it's just the same with Nintendo as well. It's just like they've got 10 million consoles out there. They're making profit on all those consoles. They're making profit on all the games. They're nice. I mean, it's not even just with the Wii U as well. When you add the 3DS, they've got more than 70 million consoles out there. They've got more than 70 million consoles out there. That's more than Sony or Microsoft have. And they've got software. They've got so much software on those consoles that is selling that are selling in the region of like 3 to 8 million. They're nice. They're nice. I don't see what people are complaining. I don't see what people are so worried about. They're nice.
They don't know stuff. That's all.
Yeah, no. People just want to say shit because it's fun. Those of you who are listening, if you click on the Ask Questions, the Q&A app, you can actually ask questions, and we'll try and answer them before the end. Because just don't swamp us in the last like 10 minutes, because we don't want to do that. Look, people got stuff to do, but we'll try and answer them as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Some of us have games to play.
Baby, I just want to get some of that pocket in Mario. Mario Maker, come on, baby. Give me 3 stars in Mario Maker for my course, baby. Come on. I'm being facetious. Please. I'm not into drugs, except for alcohol occasionally. So games and media, the people who a lot of gamers use to tell them if they like a game or not, have basically they failed. I mean, they failed to do basic things like due diligence.
That is so cruel. Sorry, I'm just looking at this picture. It's got Star Fox there, and it's got Star Fox in it, and it says gonna prank Dad when he comes back from his mission. Day 1, day 2, day 817. That is cruel.
That is cruel. That is totally cruel.
God.
But going with what Red's saying there though is like
I couldn't help that. Was so like horribly funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but going with like Red saying, like again, I mean, and that's a video if anybody's seen my Google Plus, that was the video I was going to do, but then the PS4 rumors got to boiled it to a tip, so I had to take care of that one first. But like I said, like common sense is not being used or just logical thinking, because again, it's funny how if me and Red being business people, we say, hey, they're making this much money, and I love how these guys like, well, prove it, man. And I'm like, and even if you give them the simplest explanation, that is one of the reasons I put up that Dragon and Puzzle explanation.
Yep.
Of how you make game, because and for people who have never seen it, on my Google Plus, I put up I basically asked the question. The person was telling me, hey, how you said this and Nintendo making profit. I said, this is how Nintendo makes profit. Dragon and Puzzles. Puzzle and Dragon, I'm sorry, Dragon Puzzles. Puzzle and Dragon. Puzzles and Dragons, the Mario edition. It took $2 million to make that game. 1.5 to develop the game, send the game, and 0.75 million for packaging and advertisement. Now they put that game came out last year. It sold lower than usual 3DS games, but that was the game it did. It to break even on that game, it needed to sell 80,000. And most and the projected that people wanted to get was 100,000. If they got 100,000, then they would get 500,000 straight profits. And before I say the next part, what straight profits mean is you don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to do anything extra. It's not because it's residual. It's just money just coming. Whatever money after that is coming straight to whatever the bank is. That's what Nintendo does a lot too. So once you don't break even, and anything that comes in is just basically just money users gain from doing nothing. So as of March, I was gonna say as of March, it has sold over 500,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's changed. That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah,
changed
no,
right there.
here's go. But here you go. 500,000. So straight profits now is 10.5. So they took $2 million.
10.5 million.
They took $2 million.
Did you just say straight profit was 10.5 million?
Yeah, I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down, Mike.
They basically made 4 times. No, they made 5 times what they put in.
Yeah, they took $2 million, made 12.5 million. They picked $2 million, made 12.5 million. Take the $2 million away from breaking even, made 10.5 million straight profits.
Yeah, and that's how you want to run your business. Like, I'm gonna give an example.
Right there. That
people,
changed.
And that's one game.
Yeah, people always like to talk shit about like, well, the stock said this company made this much popularity. I'm gonna let you in a little secret. One of the most expensive stocks you can buy. It's not even on the market. Is if I remember correctly, is I want to say either Hershey stock or
Coca-Cola.
No. Coca-Cola stock is on the stock market. Hershey stock is one of the most expensive stocks you can own, but there's only 5 shares, and they're each held by various members of the Hershey family. So basically, it's ultra rare. They have almost a monopoly on chocolate in America and in parts of the world. And like, I mean, you know, now here's the thing. I mean, it's like they're rich. It's ridiculous. They have lots and lots of money. But Hershey isn't necessarily, people, they're ubiquitous, but they aren't exactly popular. Like, a lot of people are going towards that healthy chocolate and stuff that's, looks and tastes delicious, that dark chocolate with sea salt or sprinkled with cayenne pepper and shit, which is actually pretty good. You take some of that cayenne pepper chocolate and make a hot chocolate with it, it warms you up and it's tasty. But
I need to try that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love me some cayenne pepper, but I wouldn't have thought to put it in hot chocolate.
Well, when you think about that, chocolate really got popular from the Aztecs and Toltecs in Mexico, and that's how they would have their hot cacao. They would basically take it and heat it up and add cinnamon and not cinnamon, spices and peppers and shit to it, and natural sugar and milk and stuff. And it's pretty damn good.
I'll try that. But
I digress. My point is that at the end of the day, as long as they're making money, they don't give a fuck what people think about them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing a business has to do is make money. Their success. Look, you turn a profit, good.
Look, it's these arguments. These arguments that people make, they're actually stupid. Their words can't describe the idiocracy behind these people's arguments. And I'll tell it to you like this: for one, people going the 3DS doesn't exist. To say that isn't part of Nintendo's whole business. They'll be like, oh, Sony's selling consoles and Nintendo isn't, but Nintendo's selling handhelds and Sony isn't. Now, here's the thing about it. Yeah, people write off the 3DS the handhelds don't make money. Well, a handheld is cheaper to develop for. For the handheld is cheaper to develop for. It sells for cheaper. You need more than one to have multiplayer. Now, Nintendo has developed games on the 3DS that have sold in the regions of 3+ million. Super Mario 3D Land, which I doubt was a very costly title at all, so it has sold over 8 million. Like, do you know how much change Nintendo is making? Just if you use common sense, you'll realize Nintendo is making change.
Well,
I remember.
It's,
That's all.
it's all profit, yeah. Because
Yeah.
20% of that is digital as well.
Well, you have to remember, Nintendo budgets their games. Nintendo budgets the way they make their games.
It's as simple as this. If Mario Kart 8 only needed if Mario Kart 8, a high definition game built on a high definition console, meaning that it's more expensive to develop, only needed 400,000 copies to sell to make profit. Imagine how much fewer copies something like Mario Kart 7 needed to sell profit, and Mario Kart 7 still has sold higher numbers than Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, well, I mean,
7 million.
Yeah, that's the thing that people need to understand is this. Like, Nintendo budgets, the way Nintendo budgets their projects is like this. Basically, they budget their games like every game that they have is like their last game is like their last penny is being spent and every penny is dear. Like, they budget they pinch that penny, that yen, until it squeals like a pig, okay? And that's how they budget, like, all their shit. Now, here's the thing. Nintendo has tons of money. If Nintendo said, you know what, since Microsoft and Sony want to have a dick measuring contest to say who has the most HD games, if Nintendo wanted to, they could make a super powerful HD console and
probably run at about 1 watt.
And spend millions of dollars, like 10, 15, 20, 30 million per project, making these big, like, an orgy of graphical fidelity if they wanted to. But the thing is that goes against their philosophy of making how they make their games. They budget so that it can sell a small amount, break even, and then after that it's just gravy.
Basically, Nintendo think like a small local business, and they are a small business. Like a small business never a large business will probably buy ridiculous amounts of stock that may not potentially sell. That's why a lot of big corporations end up having a lot of wastage, whereas a small business will tend to buy stock based on their budget and based on what they sell.
Yeah. So I mean, it just boils down to how well you budget things, and a lot of people forget that.
Well, I mean,
hence why whenever there's like a boom in the economy, it's usually because of a lot of small businesses. Whereas when you have a lot of corporations in the economy, that's when you tend to have recessions and slumps.
Yeah, that's mostly the ebb and flow of how business really works. What Michael just said, but to go what Red and Rebecca is saying right now is like, look, is like. What I just told you was just one game, and so that's one game doing that level, and that is basically I really do say go to that post, because I went further beyond and saying what would happen if Konami, Capcom, and Square did the exact same thing for their latent IPs. They'll be making good money. And if the budget of the games coming out right now was in that budget, then you want to have broken DLC, broken games, all this stuff. But what I'm gonna say is, like, even as they've been doing the analogy of doing the whole that this is a small company and then doing the budget and everything else. Remember, if one game flops off bad, it won't crash the whole company. That's a smart part of they doing the way they're doing it right now. But also, people, as Michael brought up, again, all these games like Mario Kart and stuff like that. Like, how should I say this? I'm trying to be nice. Okay, like Kanoshi said, I went to California Orange Juice for a second. I went over there. I went over there for a visit, and I saw some people arguing over the oranges, and they were saying how, well, this orange said that it's not gonna be they ain't got that much 1080p. Basically, was saying Nintendo don't have a lot of 1080p 60 frames per second games like the other consoles, blah blah blah. And I was like, wait a minute. I never saw Nintendo advertise that this was gonna be their Wii was gonna push 1080p 60 frames per second. They just said they're gonna do HD games, which is 720p and up. And one of their most hectic games is still at a lock frame at 60 frames per second at 1080p, while other games that at 720p and 900p don't have a lock frame rate on the other consoles. So where the heck this guy coming from?
Yeah, that's a good point. They never said it was going to be like a
Exactly.
1060.
No, but PlayStation and Xbox said that they're gonna do 1080p 60 frames per second.
They never said it was going to be stable. They just said they were going to do it.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's like someone coming up to you and saying, when you turn 16, I'm going to give you a Corvette. And you're like, you keep your grades up, you do everything you're supposed to do, and then you turn 16 and your parents walk in and they hand you a little box and it's a model Corvette. Technically, they did give you a Corvette. Technically, you got your Corvette. But that's not what you thought you were gonna get, So
wow.
I mean, the thing is this, like all of this stuff is just total and complete bullshit, and I mean, we can all agree that it's bullshit. Let's get to some of these questions. These are questions that were actually left in the comment section, so we'll get those first. One's a comment, so we'll do the comment first. This is from Yin Yang Yao. Thank you for listening, Yin Yang Yao. We always enjoy your anecdotes. Hey Ubisoft, I'll call for a real company for gaming. I break you hard. Okay.
Boy.
We have a question from Josh S. What do you guys think of the statement Kimishima just released in the Nintendo Employee Handbook that says Nintendo is focused on smartphones, NX development, and theme park stuff? Predictably, lots of people are seeing this as a confirmation for 2016 release for the NX device, while adding the 3DS and the Wii U are toast. Do you think his statement means anything, or are people just being stupid again?
Stupid again. Keep it moving.
Yeah. I want to see what the article says. I haven't seen this article.
No, it's probably some shit that people just like. Here's the thing, okay? Okay. Like, everyone keeps on saying Kimishima said this, Kimishima said this. Kimishima is doing the floor plan that Iwata started, okay?
Yeah.
All the shit you see being done now with the theme parks and the NX and smartphones, Iwata was laying these plans like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Pretty much.
Okay?
Go to Nintendo everything. It's the top post.
Oh, well, shit. It's Nintendo everything. I can't trust them.
I can't trust any of these sites. I don't care how many times they put Nintendo in their name.
Yeah. I mean, they have Pale Salon, Elia Pale, whatever the hell his name is. That dude, oh, God. I'm not even going to get started with him, but whatever.
I'm on Nintendo everything. I can't find it.
Yeah, it's probably like, this is basically him.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah, it's on the first thing. I don't have official translation, so I tried. Sorry for not good in strict English. Oh God, another bad translation. But anyway, another bad translation.
We
all know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? Bullshit is gonna spread. That's what's gonna happen.
You think people are learning lessons of how bad translation is. Look, let me play devil advocate.
If everyone wants to sit in the Death Star and get blown up, then be my guest.
Laura said, let me play devil advocate. If Kimishima said that as verbatim, I'm thinking if he's doing that, he said in the handbook for the company. I'm thinking like. He's talking about, hey, he's telling investors what future prospects we're going to do. Which, I mean, all those stuff is still future prospects. So that doesn't mean, because we know there's games coming out for the 3DS. Go to Nintendo UK, Nintendo Japan YouTube page or Nintendo. They showed up a trailer about all these RPGs coming out for the 3DS.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to drop 3DS support. I don't care what anyone tells you.
Why would you want to drop 3DS support? Look
because
how
the 3DS is guaranteed money. Okay, it's guaranteed money. Like the Wii U,
guaranteed money.
Is guaranteed money. Why would you throw away
money on a
low
budget?
Guaranteed money? That makes no sense. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, oh God. People stop. It's just people being stupid, Josh S. Okay. Our next question is from Josh S. again. What is the most expensive game Nintendo has ever made?
Legend of Zelda, probably.
The Zeldas.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Zeldas are big budget. Zeldas are their big budget AAA games.
It's their biggest budget, isn't it?
Well, I think the current Legend of Zelda that they've talked about is their biggest budget Legend of Zelda. But here's the thing: AAA for Nintendo ain't AAA like for everybody else. So even by AAA standards, it's probably not that much.
No, the Zelda franchise is their biggest. Because Cage is in here. Zelda is their biggest game, and the longest game with the most but the one that had the most work. And I'm still. It looked like I'm the only person to report this, maybe because I got it straight from the horse's mouth and nobody repeated. Is still Cage's favorite game, Mario Maker. Oh, now you gonna talk?
Mario Maker had a big budget.
No. I said longest because remember, it's literally when you have the code for that complex, that you got a code for what the game is gonna create. Yep. And make sure, because again, I've not seen many people put up videos of Mario Maker broken.
Yeah, well, you also have to keep in mind that they had to they gave the creator like a stripped down version of the creator tools they use to make their 2D Mario games to users, and not only that, but they had to code it in a way so that it's really hard to break, and it'll follow a logical progression like in game making. And which is
it does that, but what also remember if like with Nintendo, when Nintendo's people, they're like about let's say the regular team works on like around 40 people work on it. Tazuya's team working on it, about 40 people. That's 40 people coming with ideas and stuff how to come it up. Remember, but this thing is already sold like over 3 million, so you got 3 million people with different types of ideas.
Finding ways to break it. Yep.
So that was labor intensive. That's why when I went over to Japan and I said that the game is at large in their park, I was like, they started developing on this game early 2000, basically like January 2009.
So, so it was originally going to be a Wii game, but the Wii didn't have the power for it. It didn't have
and also the functionality over the tablet, which makes it more easier. But they worked on this game since 2009. So remember, Zelda came out late. Zelda came out later than that.
That's 7 years. That's nearly 7 years.
Well, because again, you have to code for thinking what the game is gonna do.
Yep, because they're gonna find ways to break it.
I thought Skyward Sword development was long, because I know that was like 5 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I was gonna say Skyward Sword came after 2000. Came out in 2000. Was it 11 or 2000?
Yeah. 2000.
Yeah, it came out 2011, and then after that they gave it about 30 months. They gave it 30 months. I'm saying they gave it about 6 months rest, and then they jump back in and start doing Zelda U. So So 5 years is the longest, as Michael just said. But the longest game they ever put on the program was Mario Maker.
Yeah, Mario Crack. It took a while to make that Mario Crack. What I will say about
now they've infiltrated it into the inner city homes of gamers.
Yeah, between Pokken, Splatoon, and Mario Maker, Nintendo's got some crack. It's ridiculous.
And Xenoblade. Don't forget Xenoblade.
Oh, Xenocrack. Oh, I still got to get back into Xenoblade.
I got one more thing to say right before you even switch off of that. Like you just gave us some numbers. Now, it's sad that it has to be VG charts for make people see this crap, which just sucks. because they don't know stuff. But I hope people go out there, recheck VG charts again and see where Bayonetta 2 is at. Even though I said they already passed 1 million 2 months ago, but just see where VG charts have been 2 is at right now.
I knew when they did the Selects version of Bayonetta 2 that it had sold over 1 million. Because Nintendo doesn't do Selects until something's so successful that they can afford to take the hit, and they're still going to make money. Like it's like, well, we're practically giving it to you, but we need to get something out of it. So Selects, $19.99, $29.99.
Well, it's not a select. It's not a select. Bayonetta is not a part of the select crew, but they did give just Bayonetta 2 by itself.
It's separate, but I mean.
But I'm just saying. Look at what it is now compared with, because everybody was like, "Oh, it's not gonna, Operation Platinum and blah blah blah." Even though it already passed 1 million, like Red just said, I said it. They did it back in Christmas. They passed 1 million because with digital sales and everything. But nobody, I'm seeing it. I'm just only I'm saying this because
it was supposed to fail. That's the thing.
I was just gonna say, I have not heard no YouTubers talk about it. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, because here's the thing.
Because
failed to live up to their expectations. Okay? It failed to live up to their expectations. Okay?
Should I just say North America or global?
It's probably global.
Global.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean that's still pretty good. See, here's the thing. Bayonetta is a very niche franchise, okay? It's very, very, very niche. Okay? It's not for everybody.
Okay, globally, by the estimation of VG charts, it's 0.98 million.
Which means you have to add more because VG is inaccurate. Yeah. So it's it did well. We have another question from Josh S. before we move further into the podcast, which is, what are your least favorite first-party Wii U and 3DS games? Anyone name one least favorite Wii U, one least favorite 3DS game?
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I would have to go with Animal Crossing. I don't get
both of you, Animal Crossing? Seriously?
Yeah. Well, I just don't get them. Animal Crossing.
Probably.
That's hard to say.
Probably Mario Tennis. Probably or Mario Party 10. I just don't really care for Mario Party anymore, and then Mario 10 as well.
The thing is, every one of Nintendo's games that I bought have been so good. I can't think to say which is my least favorite one.
Okay, so you're the odd man out. I know Induo doesn't buy any bad games, so he doesn't even need to tell us about it. I don't buy any bad games.
No, if I have to, okay, it's not a bad game, but if I have to say the least I've played, I'm gonna stab somebody in the chest right now with this one, and that's
Zelda HD.
No, that was given. I did not buy it, so that was gifted.
Oh, okay.
No. Mario Maker.
Get the fuck out of here!
Oh
You
my
should get
God!
slapped.
Look, man, he just said
Okay,
Mario Maker is special, fam. You can't be dissing Mario Maker like that.
I know what city you live in.
It's like, I can find you. Well, you can try.
Try to get you off. I know, right? No, if I have to be honest, truth. If I look at my gaming hours, I have not put that much gaming hours in Mario Maker.
Yeah, I played Mario Maker, but I'm not really. I'm sorry. For me, I would rather play. I would rather than give us a Super Mario Brothers Wii U 2 than Mario Maker. But that's just me.
Red. Just to say something real quick. I'm seeing a screenshot of Miiverse of the Pokken tournament community, and someone just posted saying that Pokken tournament has been sold out.
Yeah, probably. Shit, it's popular.
Some places, yeah.
Dude, it's Pokemon.
Is the shit. It's the
Yeah,
shit.
This is what people got to understand with Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament is as close as we've gotten so far
To a real
seeing
Pokemon
what it's
stadium.
like
Yeah.
to actually fight.
A real Pokemon stadium. Yeah.
Pokemon tournament. Pokemon tournament.
This is as close
Basically,
as
the
this is as close as you get to the cartoon.
Yeah,
Well, not just that. This this is the cartoon and Pokemon This is what we wanted Pokemon Stadium to be on the N64, but Nintendo just didn't want to let us beat the shit out of Pikachu with a Charizard. That little
You
need to let go of this
one thing I
Pikachu.
realized though is
Sorry,
that this game,
I hate Pikachu.
it's like every other game out there. This game is a test because if it sells well and it already has sold well,
There's going to be
I can actually see a console Pokemon game. And I can see that instead of having to
I don't see that. I do not see that until the Pokemon company said they're gonna do a console, which they stated over and over and over and over again.
Well,
It's up to the Pokemon company.
Veil of Darkness and Coliseum, but those games didn't sell very well. So
Yeah.
In that space, that kind of Pokemon game just doesn't really work as well. I mean, like in a full 3D space to have wild Pokemon, it's a lot to put in. Like, I mean, it could possibly be done now on the Wii U.
It could be done. It could be done.
It's a lot of work to put in.
It's too much money to develop.
No. Look. It can be done, and I think it can be done. And I've seen people with ideas how it could work out. The problem is not that. Again, Pokemon means pocket monsters, and that's what the Pokemon company has been stated all the time. Every time everybody asks them, because again. Yeah, everybody always asks Nintendo. They ain't Nintendo. Pokemon owns their own IP, so they ask them.
You know what I'm saying? Unless Nintendo actually makes that hybrid console, you're not going to see that. That
will be the closest. I'll give Triple M that if they do the hybrid console thing, that will be the closest way that you could do the console thing. That I can give.
Like Pokemon, like its core. There's certain this is why Sony's Vita failed and the PSP kind of failed. Was because there's just some shit that needs, you need exclusive content for whatever the device is. You need shit that's only for your handheld. You need shit that's only for your console. And never shall the twain meet.
I got an update. It seems like the pre-orders for Pokemon Tournament sold out in France on Amazon.
Okay, well, I guess it's popular there. You know, France has a weird thing with Nintendo. That's a few markets where they're actually nailing it.
They have a weird thing with Japan in general. The Louis Vuitton lightning returns thing.
Yeah, that was some bullshit. I'm sorry, but anyway, back to the rest.
Thank you, the Crow. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that's psycho person.
Yeah, back to the podcast. Shit, we got some more questions here. Okay, so before we get to the rest of these questions, I guess we should get to the last two topics, which are going to be quick because they're going to be real easy.
And my topic.
Josh S., we're at least getting to a Pokemon Snap U, right, please? Well, I can drop one of the topics because, I want everyone to get a chance to answer them. The final topic before we get to Triple M's and then the questions and wrap things up is we covered Vivendi Watch at the same time as we covered this the things. I guess I was going to do leaks in gaming, but we kind of covered that a bit with when we were talking about the gaming journalism. So I guess the studio closures. People keep on saying this is a healthy, a healthy gaming community, but I'm like, you're seeing 15-plus-year-old studios close. That's not healthy. Ubisoft, which used to be one of Ubisoft used to be one of the mainstays of mid-tier game developers, and we had THQ leave a few years ago, and Ubisoft is like, they're hanging on a cliff. They're like one of those action movies where the dude's like hanging on the cliff with one hand, and he's like, I can pull myself up, even though physically this would be impossible for someone unless they weighed like 120 pounds and were a gymnast. And I'm not, but
did you basically criticize that scene from Batman Begins?
Every single action movie has that scene where a dude is like holding on to the side of a building or an airplane or a cliff, literally a cliff.
The grab my hand scene.
And he's like he's ripped. and he's holding on with one hand, and he pulls himself up with that one hand. I'm like, the only people who have that type of upper arm strength are gymnasts who are like 120, 130 at the tops. Like Bruce Lee could do it, but Bruce Lee didn't weigh that much. Someone who weighs 200 something ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm sorry, just not with one arm.
The only other person who can do that is Captain America.
Okay, yeah, well, that's fictional. Anyway, before you go any more to that, Red, they did. I have to say this: I did look more into IR picture when I had a chance, and they did because they did all right last year. They did hire. Their staff has went up. They hired 500 more people, so their staff is at 9,500 now. Ubisoft itself, yes. I saw.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Did they say where they did that hiring?
Most of it in two places, basically in France itself, at Montreal, Ubisoft Montreal.
Well, with Montreal, they get a tax break when they hire people in Montreal. They literally get paid to hire people, and they get like a stipend from the Canadian government to hire people in Montreal. So, yeah, they basically get paid to hire people in Canada. So,
jeez, why does it seem like Canada's got it a lot more together than America?
Well, because they don't have the population to do as America.
Yeah. Yeah,
dude, half of the population of California is what the population of Canada is. That's California, one state. So
Canada,
that's a difference.
Yves Guillemot went to the Canadian government and he asked them for money to help to buy stocks in his company so that he could buy enough stock to keep from Vivendi from taking over. So. Yeah.
And they said no.
Yeah, of course they said no, because no one will be dumb enough, except for Rhode Island, to give money to a game company. No one would be dumb enough to do that. No government would be dumb enough to do that. I'm saying, because here's the thing: if you can't make enough deals to fund your own shit, why are you asking the government to do it? The Canadian federal government, the U.S. government, the state government, the local government, that's shady as hell. I'm sorry, it's shady.
Government?
Just basically, like, the fact that Yves Guillemot did that tells me how dire Ubisoft is. So that's probably why they hired people in Canada, because they were probably like, shit, we get.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure that Vivendi doesn't push their staff up their shaft.
Yeah, basically, they're trying to stay independent, but here's the thing. Had Ubisoft stayed in the mid-tier market, they would have stayed independent. They wouldn't be in the financial trouble they're in now, where they can't even afford to buy themselves. Yves Guillemot, along with the three people who hold the largest individual amounts of stock in the company, can't even afford to scrape the funds together to buy enough stock to get a 51% majority to keep Vivendi from taking over their company.
That's bad. That's
bad. Embarrassing. But that Nintendo curse isn't real. It's just I just made it up.
You stupid.
Yeah, I made it up. Really, everyone who's ever screwed over Nintendo, they don't have bad luck. I mean, sure, Square Enix kind of went down the shitter, but hey, that wasn't personal. That just shit happens.
Look at Capcom.
Yeah,
the only thing keeping them alive right now is what they're doing with Nintendo.
And Street Fighter, man, that deal they made with Sony about that Street Fighter.
Hey, Capcom, you're screwing up. March is almost over. Where's that update?
Hey, they've got another 3 days until they've got 4 days.
And let's not forget how far Konami. Yeah, I keep thinking I'm gonna say your name.
Konami. All I'm gonna say is this:
ever since they've left Nintendo, they've just gone on a downward spiral, like a horrible downward spiral.
All I'm gonna say is this: the only people who left Nintendo and are doing okay, as a matter of fact, they're doing fabulous, is DMA Designs. And that's it. Those are the only people I can think of that are doing okay.
You're kind of right, because the people who left Retro, no, they ain't doing that well. Amateur Studios is we'll see how that work out when the two games they're working on.
Now Rare.
Rare. Well, we don't know Rare.
Rare is rarely there anymore.
Yeah, Rare. I mean, I'm not saying there's a Nintendo curse. I'm just saying it seems kind of odd that a lot of the companies that used to work hand in hand with Nintendo leave, get their ass on their shoulders, and then fall face first into a mud hole. I don't know.
Rare was obvious. They signed the deal with the devil.
Well, again, remember the Stapler brothers said that they should have never took the deal. That's their words themselves. They should have never took that deal when they had it when Microsoft came knocking at the door. But they got great. They saw the money, and then they were like, "Shit, we made a wrong mistake. Damn it!"
Yep.
And let's not forget. And let's not forget. Koei Tecmo, or should I say, Omega Force. They basically after Hyrule Warriors, as we just saw, their new game just dropped last Friday. And because of Hyrule Warriors, basically they were basically a whore. They dropped down to the knees. Nintendo will do anything. Get that money. We want that money again. That was good money.
Well, they tried to do the same thing with Dragon Warriors, and that sold okay on the PS. That sold okay on the PS3, but the PS4 version kind of flopped. So they kind of, it just. I'm like, look, listen. That game, I have both. I have both games. I have Hyrule Warriors, and I have the Dragon Warrior Heroes on my PC. And like, even though they're both made by Omega Force. Dragon Warrior Heroes is an inferior game. It looks better than Hyrule Warriors, but like it has less content, less replayability. It's terrible.
But again, I'm just saying, look at that company that just jumped in bed with Nintendo, and they're basically right now smoking a cigarette. Smoking a cigarette like, yeah, this is good. Thank you, Nintendo.
Look at Namco right now. Namco's laughing thanks to Nintendo. I mean, they made money from helping with Smash, and then they've also Pokken Tournament as well, and both of those games are very well.
Let's see if Namco Bandai. But here's the thing, though. Let's see if Namco Bandai learned their lesson, because they're screwed. They're still screwing right now.
Namco's always been one of them funny companies. They're really like the third party company that's really in it for themselves.
Bandai wants to prove themselves. Here's what they need to do.
Namco Bandai will work with you if it benefits them, but like if it doesn't benefit them, they won't care to screw you over. Like they really are just themselves. They're their own independent selves.
Namco Bandai, if they want to prove themselves, here's what they need to do: Soul Calibur 6. Wii U, NX, PS4, and Xbox One.
Xbox One.
Give me you give me a Soul Calibur 6 and not the shit you've been putting out with Soul Calibur, like real Soul Calibur. Okay, fine then, fair enough, whatever.
No, they don't need to do that. You know what I want them to do? Fire Emblem Soul Calibur Edition.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Make the version on the Nintendo system. Make its Souls thing, its Soul story, be like kind of like a Fire Emblem game. Except instead of you doing like the rock paper scissors battles, you do like you move around on the map and you do like Soul Calibur fights with like customized enemies and shit. Shit, that'd be the and maybe have like you could have Link from Soul Calibur 2 pop up as a character you could unlock. You got to beat him first though. But
I would say a Soul Calibur, a Fire Emblem spin-off, a Fire Emblem Soul Calibur spin-off. So instead of Soul Calibur characters, you have Fire Emblem characters but with Soul Calibur type moves, and as bonus characters you have Link and Ganondorf in the game.
I don't know. I like the Soul Calibur characters more than I like the Fire Emblem characters.
I'm just saying, Fire Emblem's just got the perfect premise for it.
I mean, have you seen Yoshimitsu's uppercut that like knocks a dude like through the ceiling? It's like, oh, with those weird ass voices he makes. Oh.
No, I don't mean as a full Soul. I mean as a spin-off game, like Hyrule Warriors.
I mean that'd be cool. But I would really like them to do like they did with Soul Calibur 2, except with Fire Emblem characters. That'd be awesome.
Well, hell, Red. I mean, with the one game on PlayStation 4 they're releasing right now, which is the game I want to play. That's one of the reasons that make me would buy a PlayStation. But you got a PlayStation 3, but again, you don't read kanji. Is they're releasing the SRW continuation or original saga.
Oh God.
I'm like, it's on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3. I'm like, okay,
You know,
all
I
right.
might spend $150 and get the Japanese Rosetta Stone just so that I could play that game. Game because it's 60 for the game. Plus, you got to play shipping and handling, or hack your PS3 and make a Japanese PS3 account and buy it that way. And then you spend $150 on Rosetta Stone, spend 6 to 8 months learning to speak Japanese, or at least read it. And then that's a lot of shit to do just to play that game.
It's a good game. But me and Red know this game, so it's a good game to continue the series. Yeah, but my point I was gonna say, is Namco. Like I said, look, if anybody out there, this is what I was gonna point out. Like, try to do Namco YouTube Japan. And you're going to see what I said. More than 50% of the games that's coming out from Namco Bandai is mobile games. It's phone.
Yep.
It's phone games. It's the console and 3DS and handheld are 40%. It's just like one whatever, but most of it is mobile games. Because sometimes I've been like, when I go to work, I check my YouTube to see what I'm like. Damn, they just announced 10 damn mobile games. Yep. Good God.
Well, I mean, I guess they found a model that works for them, and whatever. God bless them.
I guess because mobile's kind of like is the new age arcade space now, and well, Namco was originally an arcade developer, so I guess in a way it kind of fits that.
Yeah, but Japan's arcade, arcades are not dead. The arcades are not dead in Japan.
Yeah, well, I'm still they're still making money off that Pokken arcade.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Look, Tower Records. They got 4 Tower Records in Japan, and they're not even. And Tower Records is not no silly piece of crap arcade place. No, it's a 5-story building. The one in Japan in Tokyo. It's a 5-story building. Level 4 is a full restaurant. You could get gourmet meals, whatever. The 5th one is the adult entertainment kind of thing, which is crazy up there. Don't go up there. Really? But anything else below it is like Street Fighter, all the.
When we go into Japan.
What?
When we go into Japan.
What? Well, you keep on asking me these questions. You got your money, man.
You get your money. Look, you get your money. Look, first you got to get your passport, and then you get your money straight.
Exactly.
Time to roll.
Don't worry, man. Wait,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying the scene
when the EP starts setting in it.
But what I'm saying is that the arcade scene is still strong in Japan, which like I said, they have stores like that for it. So, but I mean, I'm with Red. I mean, they found a way to make their games work. And again, the reason they're having a lot more people hired because after what I'm telling you what the Western gamers did to most of the Japanese people by threatening their lives and stuff, they're like, you know what? At least the mobile market is nice. They don't threaten our lives, you dicks.
Yep. Gamers, some gamers are just stupid. But Triple M's going to bring up his topic, and then we'll get to the fun topic and then the questions. Triple M, what is your topic?
All right. I'm probably going to break at least one person's heart when I
say this.
Use this certain game, but it's about Super Mario Maker.
Jesus Christ!
Easy now, Cage. Easy now.
Woosah. Easy now, buddy. Easy now. Easy, fighter. Easy.
Woosah. Go ahead, Triple M.
Forgive me, Neil, but if this case hasn't keep bringing up, I wouldn't even bring up this topic. But apparently, and I know someone is going to correct me on this, but apparently, Nintendo is basically erasing courses on courses of Super Mario Maker, and they're not saying anything about it.
Oh, they said something about it.
Oh, they have. Then what? Then why is the media keep saying or keep?
The reason they've been taking away and Cage know it because we talked on remember the off chat we had, Cage.
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, the reason they were doing it because all those people who were doing this, 90%. Look, like I forgot the highest one that they took his videos away because it again it's the stupid reason of people don't understand how the thing is. After what Nintendo did early this year, and you don't want to get into the program, they basically been doing all their videos basically without the copyright. So Nintendo basically just said, okay, you're ignoring the copyrights from the video, so we just take the thing away. Because you basically, again, on YouTube, and the guy who's doing this, 90% of his revenue is the Mario Maker thing, is the Mario Maker stages that he's done. I'm like, if you're stupid enough to use somebody else's copyright material to make money, and 90% of it is your revenue itself, not revenue on YouTube, revenue in what he makes in his life, that you stupid. I'm sorry.
And here's the thing, and here's the worst thing, is that all he'd have to do is
get in the program.
Is join their because most of his shit's Nintendo anyway. He could easily make his channel Nintendo specific and get his money back. But he's so these people just want to find a reason to bitch. Let's just keep it real, okay?
Wait. Let me ask you a question. If you're a DJ and you're spinning somebody else's records, don't you have to pay like a royalty or something like that when you spinning other people's records in the club?
If you no. Here it is. Here's this. If you're a DJ and this is my artist's music, you can spin people's records, but you cannot make money off of it. Like I said, you are most okay. If you're in a, let me put it this way: if you're in a like how these so like these big DJs like Avanti and DVO and stuff like that that's in Europe that comes to America and stuff.
Yeah.
When they spin it in big, when they have a big concert and spin other people's videos, music and stuff that they mix and stuff, the building they're doing it, they have to pay ASCAP, so they have to pay pay us artists.
Yep.
But if you're doing like a small club, whatever that stuff, you could do that. That's promotional tier in that small thing. But remember, YouTube is not small because this guy had like a bunch of subs, whatever. But
yeah,
the problem,
it was just people. It was just the dude just finding a reason to bitch.
But the problem as if you try to do the apple to the orange to orange, as you say, Konoshi is that difference is like I said. He made 90% of his revenue off of doing that. If you a DJ, like I would just like Calvin Harris and everything, he makes most of his money basically doing his own stuff.
Yep.
It's easy for me.
That's what DJ Snake did in Europe. Like he got big in Europe, but he just like initially all DJs start spinning other people's stuff because that's how they did back in the day. You know, you'd have your carton with like all these different records and shit, and your turntable, and you know. But
if you want to be
start
like
making your own stuff, you know.
Yeah, like DJ Snake, he's right. Major Lazer, we know Major, you know, like from Jamaica. These guys, they make their own music. That's where they make most of their money from.
Yep.
You will spend some stuff,
and then the artists pay them to use their music.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they ask permission. They say, hey, guys, some of these guys like. I know DJ Lace is gonna be like I've done a song. I put it this way: like one of his beats, me and him did a beat together, and the artist will come and say, "Hey, I want you guys to do this and blah blah blah." So in other words, they got permission.
So let me take it a step further. If
Okay.
you're say a radio DJ, you have to pay royalties to play their music, right? You have to pay.
That is you have. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
You have to pay royalties to say spin the new T Swift song.
Yeah.
You know, you have to pay royalties.
If you play it on the radio, you pay ASCAP. You are paying ASCAP no matter what.
And the radio stations make their money mostly off of the ads, right?
Bingo.
So why are people complaining about Nintendo making money off of their content?
Because
it's stupid.
Because exactly, he said it.
If they want to be Let's Players, then why don't they just get more ad revenue rather than.
No, but that's yeah. But you see, with ad revenue is where they get their money off of the content that they did. As Red say, it's so simple. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the arguments I had with Angry Joe. But and we talked offline. I was like, dude, all you gotta do is just all you gotta do is you got enough subs. Just put in the application to be a part of Nintendo. No, you don't want to do it because you don't want to get a little. Well, you're so stupid. That was dumb of him.
What's the difference between a Let's Player and a radio DJ? Besides the fact that they're two different mediums.
The radio DJ, if you're gonna do radio stuff, okay, the company pays off the ASCAP.
Yep.
The radio pays the ASCAP no matter what, and also you get in money from ASCAP. ASCAP is or BMI. ASCAP, BMI. These are the companies that takes the royalties and give it to the artists.
Yep. Because they gotta get paid for their stuff. Like if you play Michael Jackson's "Beat It," you gotta.
His estate.
You gotta pay his estate.
Money.
Yeah. I mean that's. I mean that man wrote that shit. He had he went to a studio, sweat, tears. Did whatever he had to do, did it. He's got to, and look, listen, I like Beat It. I like Thriller. That's still that's my go-to Halloween song. I play that shit like all night long Halloween at all three of my places. I'm like,
so what if I were to make a series of videos talking about how radio stations should get to play music for free and because it's free advertisement. Free advertisement, right? No.
Here's the answer to you, Konoshi. There's been lawsuits about that, and the ASCAPs always won.
Yep, they would sue your asshole off. Like literally, like if you took because let's not forget these are the music industry. These are the same people who went after 12 and 13-year-old kids who downloaded shit with Emule and Kazaa like 10, 15 years ago. Okay, and it was to. And I quote, set an example. So if they're willing to go after 12, 13-year-old kids stealing some shitty music that even today most people would consider to be they don't give a shit about going after someone else.
but let me just ask. So let me help you one more thing with Konoshi. So I don't want to really go off of Red's topic or whatever, but to help you out quickly is. We don't, as artists, and I'm an artist too. We don't get that much money from radio spins anyway. Yep. We get like 3 to 4 cents per spin.
Yeah.
So it's not a big hit for the radio station when you go get your local Dodge Frank this Dodge dealer and he would give you about $20,000 to promote this month's thing. So that's the difference between a YouTuber and whatever, because the YouTuber doesn't have a contract with a specific advertisement to do something. Remember, the YouTube just gives you any advertisement before your video.
Yep.
And it's just something that you sign in a contract. So the Let's Play, those guys, they're using somebody else's content. They're not paying for the content. That's the difference. They're not paying to use the content. And just like Red said, if this guy got into a program, which would not be that difficult, then he could keep his money. But they don't want to do that.
Yeah, because they don't want to be associated with the Nintendo thing.
One quick question. What is the flaw with making that comparison in Let's Plays and radio stations? What is the biggest flaw of making that comparison?
Because the radio station automatically pays for the content, but the YouTube player don't pay for nothing. He just he only pays for the game, but he ain't paying to use the content other than, because remember, anybody, when the whole Nintendo thing happened from the beginning of last year, remember they said this is a copyrighted content that's prohibited to use only for playing games. They don't use it for anything else. So if you get my like I said, the radio station pays the artist, the ASCAP or the BMI or whatever for using it. But the YouTuber already bought it. They bought the game, and then if they paid this way, as you just said, Konoshi, if they paid every time they spin it, and every time they play a Let's Play, then that would be the difference. But they pay the $60 whatever for the game, and that's it. Every time you spin my record, you give me 3 cents.
But every time. I mean, that's not even where the money's at. The real money's in touring and promotional events and stuff like
Don't
that.
remind me. Do not remind me.
No, look, you don't have to tell me. I had a relative who was in the Detroit music industry in the '60s, and that's what they told me. He's like, yeah, man, like we didn't records. They're like, this record sold this much. That wasn't where the money was at. The money was in touring and promotional events.
Yeah, merchandising. Yep.
Yep, merchandising, stuff like that. But I digress. It's time. I think we've.
Hold on. Now, I was kind of indifferent in this, but then soon afterwards, I was leaning more on Nintendo, and I have to say, Nintendo doing that YouTube program, they even did more than what they should or can do, because I kind of see this in the eyes of an artist. I'm an artist, and if I see someone actually making money off of my thing, and even if it's free, dude, you crossed the line on me right there. But now, go on.
No, I was gonna say it's funny, and like Red said, it's funny that these guys are up in arms when they did that stuff last, like Angry Joe and all that bullcrap. But again, all you have to do simply is just be a part of their program. If I need a permit to build a house, as my regular job is, I have to ask the local government for the permit, no matter what.
Yep.
I can't just go and put up a building and say, "Hey, the building's there, let me sell it."
Well, that's how they used to
job.
do it back.
But the problem is they talk. Oh, go ahead.
But then.
The problem,
Okay, Kenoshi, you go, then Triple H. Go, Kenoshi.
the problem I have with people like Angry Joe is they're super, super biased. Like, when they talk about console manufacturers, they only talk about Xbox and Sony. Nintendo in their world doesn't exist. They're irrelevant.
Well,
So,
then look. You don't even gotta go that far. We already know Angry Joe is a biased piece, whatever. Because remember, he bashed Capcom over the copyright claim last year, but this year for Street Fighter V, he look at his angry rant for Street Fighter V. It wasn't angry.
Yeah, this game is a total piece of shit. It's missing base features that it's had, but I bought it anyway, and you should get it too.
Exactly. He was saying, you know what, you guys should go out and still buy the game. So come on, man. Yeah.
I can't trust anyone's reviews. Like, here's the thing. If you're gonna be critical, which people have said, well, you're really critical of this movie. You're really critical. Well, I can't help it. See, I was trained to use my mind and analyze things. And so when I look at something, I break it down, because that's what critique means. It means to analyze the base parts of a whole. And basically, I do that. I automatically do that with almost everything, which kind of fucks me up when I'm doing relationships, because I sit there and be like, hey, she did something different this time. Hey, you doing something funny? But I'm being a little facetious with that one. That's not true. Like, I'm very analytical. I use a lot of critical thinking. That doesn't mean I don't have biases. I'm very biased.
We all biased.
We all have biases. Like, I think Super Mario World's like the best Super Mario game ever. And like, forget Street Fighter 4 and 5. My favorite Street Fighter will always be Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition.
But my point, but to go to what you said, triple M, like I said, the easiest thing is all these guys gotta do is just sign up for the program. It's a program. Go to the internet, go to the YouTube page, go sign a paper, put it in. They'll do 2 weeks. You get your thing, and bam, you can keep your revenue sharing. Hell, their revenue sharing for Nintendo. For Nintendo YouTube is better than iTunes if you put your music in iTunes.
Yep.
Nice.
Jeez.
Nintendo. See, that's the thing. Like, Nintendo gives people these sweetheart deals. All you have to do is follow a simple program, and you get the best deal ever. But they don't even want to do that, and then they get surprised. They get mad when they fall flat on their face, and the repercussions fall. Nintendo took my stuff. No, you mean you took the shit that you stole from them, and they took it back without throwing you in jail or suing you. I think it's a win-win.
And then, like I said early on before, even though Nintendo's doing this, and it seems like Nintendo made a statement which I have missed, which the media is not covering that statement unless I'm looking someplace wrong. But
Triple M, we've already established that video game media is bullshit.
Exactly.
We don't even, it's like, of course they're not going to cover it. The Wii U is being phased out next week, and Kimishi's going to go to Iwata's grave and pee on it, he's going to turn Nintendo into a strictly mobile company next week, and they're gonna sell all their shit to Universal Studios, and he's cashing out. He's going to have a pimp hat leaning to the side.
Yeah, right now you go to Nintendo Enthusiast and they have an article about it and saying Nintendo hasn't said anything. I'm like, what?
Because they didn't look. It's not that they haven't said anything. They didn't look. Okay.
Yes.
But whatever. It's whatever. Fuck it. The game. We can establish that not only should like Dr. Feelgood likes to say so eloquently, fuck third parties. Fuck the video game media too. Look. My advice is look for yourself or find a reputable source. But the thing is that it's hard to find a reputable source. I thought I found a reputable source a year ago, but they were full of shit. Because that California orange juice is just that California orange juice is not good. So anyway, let's get to these.
You talking about that Sunny D California style?
Well, that Sunny D is not even orange juice. It's just fruit punch with sugar in it.
That's my point. Exactly. It's completely fake.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So let's get to the rest of these questions.
AKA not authentic.
Yes, it's very inauthentic.
It's from concentrate, not freshly squeezed.
Hold on. But concentrated from what?
Concentrate from bullshit. That's what.
Gentlemen, we're gonna jump off that rail because I don't want to go any further down it because there's certain fans.
He's got to focus. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fuck with the essence right now.
There are people who like that Sunny D, and I'm not a huge fan of the Sunny D, but
guess what I'm drinking right now. I'm
purple
drinking
stuff.
I'm drinking some
orange.
of this half. I'm drinking some of this half and half. Tea.
No, you're gonna be like, I got Coke, I got purple stuff, I got water. Sunny Delight! Wow! Like there's a black dude in that commercial. I want the purple stuff.
Yep, thanks for
I want that purple drink. It's really great. But I want that purple drink.
that OJ scissor.
That's probably what Sunny Delight really is, because you drink that stuff.
Yeah, man. That West Coast OJ scissor.
Well, it really is just sugar. It's just it's fruit punch with sugar in it and a little bit of citric acid to make it taste like it's citrus. But I digress. Go
ahead.
Yeah, let's not keep talking about OJ West Coast scissor.
Man, I'm not gonna, because listen, I don't want to deal with his fans. So here we go. That's
the thing, Red Fox. You got to be on the frequency on there, and you got to be on that OJ West Coast scissor frequency.
Hey, Micah, come on, Micah.
No more.
Okay, I'm done.
So we're gonna get to these questions, and then we'll get to the final fun topic to leave everything on a bright, cheery note.
Okay.
But let's get through these questions. PSVR, $399 plus tax. PS4, $399 plus tax. PS camera, $50 plus tax. 2 Move controllers, $90. $90 plus tax. Total $1,005.
PS
Florida
Plus.
sales tax is 7%. To quote Eddie Murphy, you can't afford it. You can't afford it because you are on the welfare. That's not a question. That's just a nice little statement from Lou Pasillo because Lou Pasillo, you're a man after my own heart. You can't afford it. You can't. But Sony is so affordable and so cheap. But whatever. We have another comment from Lou Pasillo. I'm pretty sure Ubisoft spewed enough bullshit to fertilize the Sahara Desert for 10 years. That's Sony and Microsoft over the 8th gen. So thinking about when Miitomo could come out, I believe May could be the likely candidate since there is no major Nintendo release, and with a vacant spot in May, it would help NOA focus their time and resources to ensure Miitomo has a strong presence in the U.S.
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, you know what's speaking about that, it appears that on the Miitomo website, they retracted the release date.
Yeah, that makes sense. But see, here's the thing. I think Miitomo is going to. I think they're gonna like upgrade that app so that it can also interact with the 3DS.
I mean, like I said, I won't. I mean, until we see what happens, that's a good assumption.
I mean, I'm just because like you can transfer your Mii from your 3DS or your because I mean the whole point of their internet focus is to basically like they from what they said they want to create this combined platform that has all of their devices are like one, like they want all of their devices to be a Nintendo platform. So I mean, Mii's are here to stay. I remember a certain Sunny D Proliferate said he wanted the Mii's to go, but I'm like, Mii's are now a integral part of Nintendo, like the D-pad and rumble and motion control. So I think it's gonna stay. I think it's gonna totally stay, and I'm okay with that because.
Wait a minute.
Talking about getting rid of Avatar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because avatars were just a cheap knockoff of me. Same thing with same thing with the PSN. I forget the name of it in their PS Home bullshit, but they weren't called avatars. They were like something else, but it was the same thing as the avatar, basically. I mean, it's just whatever. I don't know, Fruit Puncher. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
Nah, I mean, like I said, it's not a bad examination for that to happen either.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next question. Do you guys have fun getting gold medals in Star Fox games?
Challenge has some fun into it too.
Fun and frustration.
Well, it's a mix. It took me forever to get all the gold medals in Star Fox 64.
You mean medals? The gold medals came in Assault. There was just regular medals when you get the things.
Well, I mean, it was basically gold medals because if you wanted to unlock the best stuff, you had to get medals and everything. In some of those levels, getting the medal was like.
I know.
Area 6.
Me and Micah had that. We had that talk before we had your podcast.
You basically had to shoot down everything to get a gold medal in Area 6.
Well, no, when you didn't have to shoot everything, you had to basically avoid a lot of stuff and make sure you hit the combos because remember
exactly.
you hit a lot of those combos. Yeah, if you hit that again, and if you got the first medal, it was 300.
But trying to do that and avoid everything isn't easy.
I know, but you have to get 300.
You have to memorize the levels because I mean, here's what people forget: Star Fox at its core is a shooter. It's like Star Fox is like R-Type or Gradius. You memorize enemy placement, so the formation, so that you can get the combos. It's like, okay, if I do a charge shot to these 5 dudes, it's gonna combo up to 15 because I hit all of them in one hit, and there's 5 of them, so it's gonna do times 3, so 15. So you just had to memorize where everything was. Which is easy if you do the normal route, but the thing is, like, Star Fox games, even back then, had, like, 3-4 different routes, so it was like you had to, and getting to some of those routes was like hit or miss, like you had to do something perfectly, you had to hit all these gates, shoot this thing, don't shoot this thing, follow this thing, oh god, don't get
that's what I was gonna say, like I said in Area 6, like you had to get like 350 for kills in Area 6, but then when you got all the medals on a regular mode, you went to expert mode or hard mode in 64. Then they raised it up to like 450. I'm like, you freaking pains in the asses.
Yep. And what did you get for all of this hard work and dedication? The ability to run around on the ground.
In multi-mode. Yeah, multi-mode. That's it.
And James McLeod's glasses. I mean, his pilot aviators, which is cool, but I mean that's kind of a shitty. I'm sorry. That's kind of shitty. That's kind of shitty, Nintendo. I'm sorry.
So, but to his question, yeah, it was half
The
and
best
half.
part of it is you didn't have to pay for it.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. This was you actually earned this. It wasn't some shit that they were like, well, you can give us X amount of dollars and we'll unlock it for you. That was old school gaming back in the day. You think this is a question from AA Anderson Archilla, one of the smartest, sharpest people I've ever had the privilege of talking to. You think modern economics and business classes could do anything to dispel the misleading numbers, or would they help push them? It would help if people just remembered basic supply and demand economics, and if they did like. Because here's the thing, this is basic business 101 shit, and they don't seem to understand it.
No, it won't help, and let me tell you why. I'm looking at a game right now I just bought, and I've made a post about this about a month ago, and it clearly states on the back of this game requires basic reading to fully enjoy.
Oh yeah, I remember that stupid crap.
So, if you don't know how to read or refuse to read, no amount of classes, college courses, or even common sense will ever put you on the right track in this community.
I don't think he meant. I don't think he meant the community. I thought he was the way Red was going. I thought he was talking about like business for the companies itself. That's what I thought he meant.
Talking about, by the way.
Gamers, they don't look at the business side. They just go in the store, ask the clerk for the game, buy it, go home, and just play it.
Now they look at the crumb side.
Well,
yeah, the game he's talking about is
you guys are trolling people with those answers. I was given a real legitimate answer. Basic economics and business classes could, because gamers need to understand that if your overhead is low for a project. For example, when you make a game, like if you only spent $2 million to make a game, and it needs to sell and you're selling it at $35 or $40 a pop, and you only that's low overhead. You only need to sell, and you have an install base of 50 million. You only need to sell a small amount to that 50 million to break even. So everything above that, it's going to sell above that. But everything that you're going to reach, you're going to break even, everyone's going to get paid, everyone's going to get their bonuses, everyone's going to get their bills taken care of, but everything above that's just gravy. That's how you want to run your business. People don't understand that. They look at hardware sales, they think that's end-all, be-all. That's not where the money is at in the console industry. It's in software. And the software sales alone are not the whole thing. There's nuance to it.
This industry is just a bunch of people This industry is just a bunch of people going broke to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses is Nintendo right now.
Yep. It's people. It's not the. They're trying to keep up with. They're trying to keep up with a concept, an idea. It's not even a physical thing that you like. They're trying to keep up with next gen. What does that even fucking mean?
It means something else to various different people.
What does next gen mean? That's the thing. Everyone's like, well, this is going to be next gen. This is going to be future proof. What is the future? What is next gen?
Generation.
I don't get it. But I mean, we kind of devolved into a philosophical. I'm not going to answer your question.
People like to chase waterfalls. That's simple. TLC already warned them about it, but I guess people don't remember when the legends speak.
Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. So, what do you think about some YouTubers apparently getting copies of Star Fox Zero already? From every angle, it seems more hurtful than beneficial, especially the choice of YouTubers.
I know, right?
Like somebody from Star Wars got a copy early.
Yeah, here's the thing. You just don't watch their shit. Here's the thing. I'm gonna keep it real. I like Game Explain, and some of their early things, like how they showed Metroid Prime Federation Force, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this shit looks just like Metroid Prime. I mean,
that's what Michael was saying.
It's Metroid Prime.
We know what happens to Obi at the end of Star Wars. Right?
I mean, look, I'm bragging here myself too, but I'm happy that Obi and all the other YouTubers who I've seen their channels, and they're not. I mean, they're basically a kind of YouTubers I don't really want to associate myself with. But I mean, I had the code for I had a code for Star Fox from since I went to Japan. They're gonna unlock my code next week. So, but I don't need to. You ain't gonna see no play. No, you might get a review, but you ain't gonna get no damn play on my channel because.
Send me the code.
If you had won the contest, you would have got a code. I had 2 codes. I gave one to somebody else, and that's what it was.
It's me.
You're like, it's me, Mario. It's me. It's me. Double M.
But I mean, like I said, we answered this question, Red. Yeah, you can keep on going.
Yeah. Just whatever. I mean, look. Here's the thing. Just don't watch their shit, so they don't spoil anything. Which is, I don't watch their shit. Have you guys seen the black R-wing you get from the Falco amiibo? Looks sick. I haven't. I saw that classic amiibo you get for scanning in Star Fox, which is why I'm on a hunt to find a Star Fox amiibo because I fucking love the original Star Fox game. It's my favorite ever. So yeah.
All right, cousin.
You know, what? I kind of have a gripe against that. The fact that you need an amiibo to unlock that is a pain in the ass, in my opinion.
It's a pain in the ass, but they told you that 2014. They told you that they're gonna use amiibos in all the mainline games.
I'm gonna buy it because I want classic Star Fox. It's not important for the game, but if I get to hear the original soundtrack and the original music, I'm totally getting it because I don't like the 64 music. Fuck that music.
What do we?
What's wrong with the 64's music?
Well, if you
It's
do
not as good as the SNES music, in my opinion.
If you do buy that, you can't complain about DLC as much because it's essentially a form of DLC. $12 DLC.
Yeah, it's a $12 DLC that I've used in Hyrule Warriors. I've used in Pokken Tournament.
Think about it. You only have to buy it once, and it works on multiple
It is a DLC. No, Konoshi is right. Konoshi, you're right. It is a DLC, but I never said they're bad. They are bad and good DLCs.
But you only have to buy. Think about it. A DLC that you can buy once and it works on all your game, like a multitude of games, and it's only $12.99. That's insane. It's like I'm stealing from Nintendo.
But again, I mean, if again, and you know my stance, Konoshi. And that's not, I'm not talking to you like directly in that regard. But if somebody thinks that's a bad thing to do that or whatever, I'm like, hey, well, again, you bought the game. If you buy the game or don't buy the game, it's your choice.
I'm getting it. Look, I'm already on a hunt to get my Fox.
Because the funny thing that killed me now is let's see if all these people who was bitching and moaning for the last 5 years, Nintendo, where's Star Fox? Where's Star Fox? Where's Star Fox? Oh, you don't have no. Are you gonna put your money where your mouth is, or are you gonna find some excuse? Oh, they didn't have no online, or they didn't have. Okay.
I mean, I've already said that.
Same with Federation Force. People wanted Metroid. Well, there's Metroid here. It may not be in the form that you may have particularly wanted it in, but it's here. Are you going to get behind that and support it, or are you going to be a bitch and complain?
You know, I've already said that, like, this Star Fox Zero better be the highest-selling Star Fox in history. The way these people were whining and starting movements and redirects and like spamming people's Twitter Miiverse accounts and shit.
But it
like,
doesn't
this better
look
be
like
the highest selling one ever.
It doesn't look like Unreal Engine 4.
Well, we have one last question from Josh S.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to the final few questions in the last topic and wrap things up. Would you guys be for or against an HD Wii U remake of Star Fox Adventures?
I would be for it.
I'll be for it.
Okay.
I'll be for it.
I mean, I like other people. I like Star Fox Adventures.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you the truth. Star Fox Adventures, the thing that kind of brought it down for me was them forcing the R-Wing sections in and turning General Redups into Andros. I'm like, had that game just been Star Fox crash landing on a planet?
But you know what? But you know what?
That last bit was because the game had to be rushed.
But you know what? I'll say this. But you know what? I have to say this, and this is my opinion because you guys maybe think differently. But it was the least annoying version of Slippy. Because Slippy was
yeah.
at least he was useful, and he was a hey South Park, help me out, help me.
Yeah. See, had they kept his voice from 64, where he was just doo 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 doo. No, Slippy was. Well, he was kind of annoying in SNES too. Yeah, fuck Slippy. No, well, I mean, you know,
Frog
whatever.
legs, anyone?
What?
Frog legs, anyone? Sorry.
Okay, we got two more questions from Double A, and then, well, I'm not even going to say Renegade Zero's thing, because we all know Ubisoft is on Vivendi watch right now. They're trying not to get taken advantage of. This next question is from Double A. There are those who think an online multiplayer Metroid is a good idea that is smart and makes sense, but those same people are also trying to kill Federation Force. Could a new study of psychology be made with
I love this guy. I love this guy.
I'll take it even a step further as well. If Metroid Online multiplayer was such a great idea, then where was you people when Hunters was around?
Yep.
That is like the lowest selling Metroid game.
Yep. And here's the thing. I think Federation Force is going to have. I know it's going to have local multiplayer, because you have the. You'll be able to link up with the other people playing.
Download, yeah.
I mean that kind of makes sense, because they said it's going to be.
But it doesn't look like Unreal Engine 4.
But I'm pretty sure they might make it so that you can do the frame code over 3DS, and also maybe like send an invite to someone and play maybe online if they have the carts over a decent Wi-Fi connection. I think it would be cool if they did, and that means it's an online multiplayer Metroid game. And they're still going to be like, I don't want to play it because it doesn't look like Metroid Prime. It's not on a console. Sorry. I'm sorry if I'm ridiculing you people, but you're so stupid. It's easy. I'm sorry. I know. Look, I don't like calling people stupid normally in terms of like, because you buy what you want to buy, even if it's a bad deal. But you're getting everything you want. It's just not on the console you want it, and the art style is a little chibi. And you're whining about it. Whatever. Our last question from Double A is: seeing how people think the NX will have every Wii U game remade in 1080p, 4K, and 60 frames per second, and the hypothetical 4K PS4 is such a wonderful idea, do you think the basis of the retardation lies in resolution list?
I'm telling you, this guy, Addison, you listening, right? Like I said, I understand you say how you think, how you are, and when you're on my podcast, you mostly be quiet and you do the side chat. Dude, you are, as Brett say, you're one of the coolest dudes I met the way you think. Holy crap. Holy crap!
Anderson, you need to write a column or
he does that.
Yeah, you need to host a podcast. Seriously.
Yeah.
And
read that again. What did you ask?
Here's this thing. Seeing how many people think the NX will have every Wii U game remade in 1080p, 4K/4K, and in 60 frames per second, and that the hypothetical 4K PS4 is such a wonderful idea, do you think the basis of the retardation lies in resolution lust?
Look. People, the GTX 980 Ti has struggles with 4K. And not to mention the 4K games aren't true 4K. It's way too expensive. It's way too expensive to make a 4K game from the ground up.
Oh my God! No, that's why I said in my video. And also, me and Micah, before we came on your podcast, Fred, we were doing stuff with my software and doing like even 1080p, like raw 1080p.
It's tough.
Just one hour of data for raw lossless is 17 terabytes.
Oh shit!
Compressed.
Compressed.
Here's the thing.
And that's 1080p.
People don't realize. Like me and Lag were discussing. I was discussing this with Lag earlier on. People don't realize how heavily compressed digital high definition images are.
Yep.
Like we don't even have the technology to do raw, uncompressed 1080p. I don't care how even your most powerful 4K TV cannot do raw, uncompressed 1080p 1080p video.
The signal
the
is
size of the signal, the amount of bandwidth you would need Like a raw analog HD TV would cost you thousands.
Well, I mean, they'd never make it because only like let me put it this way. I remember when the first plasma TVs came out and they were like 30, 40,000. Like basically a raw 4K, true 4K TV. What you would I mean, basically you could get a small house for the amount that you would pay for that TV. No one would buy that TV unless they were ultra rich, and ultra rich people wouldn't buy it because that's why they're ultra rich. They don't buy. They
don't just stick with their money.
Yeah, they have better things to do. They'll take that $150,000 and put it into some stocks,
and then make back 10 times that amount.
Or in an index sale, or in an index sale, and then wait until the price comes down on that TV and get it for like $2,000-3,000 at a sale, and the $150,000 they would have spent 4, 5, 6 years earlier will have doubled, tripled, quadrupled, maybe even gone 5, 6 times above by putting it in the index. So I mean, some people are just stupid. Let's just keep it. Some people. So here's the thing. It's not that they're stupid. Some people are gullible. And they hear certain buzzwords like 4K, 1080p, 60 frames per second, and they don't understand the shit that has to go in order to make it. Put it like
this. In order to get 1080p resolution, in order to get 1080p resolution at 60 frames per second, you know, that's 840 uncompressed. That's 834 gigabytes an hour.
Damn.
So what game were you guys talking about? That was 1 terabyte?
No. That's not a game. We were talking about the data itself to see the raw data if it's uncompressed.
Yep.
If you do it for 24, if you do a video that's around 24 hours, if you do 24 hours, it's 17 terabytes.
Wow, uncompressed. Wow.
Uncompressed. It's automatically going to get compressed. Like even your true HD stations, and there's more and more of them coming online, but they're still sending you a compressed signal because the infrastructure just isn't there. But here's the final question. The final question the final topic, the final question, and this is going to make people happy. The fun topic of this episode will be, what movie needs a good video game adaptation? Go.
Crank.
What?
That'd be a fun game. Crank.
Crank. Oh yeah, Crank could totally be a game. And they should get Jason Statham all the money he needs in order to do the voice acting, because no one can play Jason Statham like Jason Statham.
Jason Statham's awesome.
I don't give a fuck about your economy. Where's my money? Damn, Jason Statham looks like he actually killed some people and escaped. Like, seriously, like.
He does pull off his own stunts.
Yeah, he looks, and not bad for a bald guy. Like, normally, Americans, we don't like bald-headed action stars, but damn, Jason Statham.
Good.
Yeah. He's like Bruce Willis, but not schlubby.
You don't know me, but you're about to.
It's like, I only have 3 rules. I don't want to know what the package is. I want to... Don't be late, and don't mess with the car. That was from The Transporter. It's a good film. It's Luc Besson. Pretty good. Who wants to go next? We got Crank. Who else?
I'm trying to think. This is hard.
You said movie?
I'm gonna say Daredevil.
Daredevil? Yeah, Daredevil could be a beat 'em up. Get Capcom to do it, or the people who made Final Fight to do it.
You said movie, right?
Well, I mean, it's also like a mini-series on Netflix, which is really good. The movie sucked, so yeah, I'm just gonna...
Yeah, okay.
I'll say this game, and hear me out when I say this.
Okay.
I would say 4, but in like a kind of intergalactic Legend of Zelda style game, if you get what I mean.
What's the movie?
Huh?
What's the movie?
I am number 4?
4 has his own movie.
Really?
Oh,
Thor.
What?
You're talking about Thor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If I said 4, I was like, what? The number.
Sorry. My th pronunciations ain't that good.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in an intergalactic, in like kind of like an intergalactic Legend of Zelda style game.
So Thor. So this is like Thor when he's lost all this stuff, and he'd have to get his items like in dungeons, like LOZ style.
It'd be like a mix between Metroid and Zelda.
That sounds pretty damn awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
See, these are good games. These are good games. Who wants to go next? Dr. Feelgood said Daredevil.
Has anyone said the never-ending story? Was Never-Ending Tale?
No one said it.
Okay.
You got it. You beat
I
people
picked
to
that
the
one.
punch.
All the movies.
I just have one question. Would you play as Bastion Balthazar Bucks or the the green skin? I forgot Atreyu the green skin.
Bastion Balthazar Bucks.
Okay. And could we change the course of this game? Like would I have to watch Hardax die in the swamp of sorrow?
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, this is a kids movie and it's astoundingly dark and dreary.
I know a movie that can make a great game. Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back.
I would say
No, they probably got a bomb hack for that.
We don't talk about that game or that.
We don't talk about that movie because
we don't talk about that trilogy. As much as
Plus, we already have that game. It's called Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow.
That was the whole point. I mentioned that.
As much as I kind of enjoy those movies.
I actually like the Pokemon movies.
Yeah, I enjoy them for nostalgic purposes, but they're terrible movies.
Oh yeah, they're
Like,
bad movies. I enjoy them for the fact that it's just Pokemon.
But my thing with the movie is like it totally contradicts Ash's goal to become Pokemon Master, but you don't even catch legendaries.
All I'm gonna say is this:
they try to bring him back to life. The tears of him at the end of the movie to bring him back to life. Now, how ridiculous is that?
Look, all I'm gonna say is this: in the Pokemon Company, you guys need to do this. Make a Pokemon Red movie, not Ash Ketchum. Red from Pokemon Red and Blue. Red.
They did an OVA with Red. OVA with.
That's what I'm saying. Because the OVA was fucking awesome. I want to see Red because Red's badass. Red is Red getting your ass.
And the Pokemon Company has enough movie. They should just They should just license it out to Miyazaki.
Yeah. To hell with Ash Ketchum. Give us Red. You don't even have to have a voice actor for him. You can have him be the mute bastard he is in the game. Just have him have that hat on and then turn it backwards, Ash Ketchum style, just so that you can have that little cat. You can have Ash fight him and get his ass kicked. Have his Pikachu, I choose you, and Red laughs his ass off and he throws out his Charizard. The Charizard uses Dig once and his Pikachu's dead. It's like, no, Pikachu. Ah!
What is with your
my Pikachu can defeat a level 100 Charizard.
I give up.
What is with your vendetta against Pikachu?
I give up.
This vendetta you have against Pikachu is not healthy.
I would say two. I would say two, and then so kind of who else join in. But if I would use two. As it going like kind of hack and slash like how Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, Princess Blade. I love that movie.
Do that.
And also, if I have to choose from an anime side, I would love to see Appleseed turn into a game.
Princess Mononoke. Anybody?
That could work. I guess I'll go last.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
go. That's surprised no one said that yet. It's a children's movie, but it's just the concept and the characters. I think it'll work out as like at least a 3D platformer. Ice Age.
They already made a game about that. It was terrible. There's like
I mean,
3
I
of
don't-
them. They're all
I don't-
really bad.
I don't think, Dragon, did you say anything? I don't think I heard you say anything, Dragon.
I haven't really watched as many like movies, I will admit. So,
Okay.
out of just guessing, Code Geass, because they have like OVA and stuff, just basic like guess mech action.
Okay, that's
That'll
cool.
work.
Yeah.
That would
I,
work.
I, I haven't.
We
I
got
haven't
London
yet.
games for that.
I say we take a game based on Batman, like where all the criminals escape from like Arkham Asylum, and Batman has to kind of hunt them down and beat them all up.
They already
Yeah,
made
we already
that
got
game.
game names.
They already made that
I'm
game like 4 times. They've made that
I'm
game
taking
4
it.
times now.
I know I'm being facetious.
Just keep on bringing up the same, just totally obvious. Thank you, sir. I guess I'll go last, and then we'll close this out. Everyone give their sign offs and pimp out whatever they want to pimp out. Like Vivendi's gonna pimp out Ubisoft if they don't get their shit together. Yeah, Stuttle dig at Ubisoft. Sorry. The movie that I could see being turned into a game, and I'm surprised no one said this because this movie is totally like watching a video game, is Aliens. Okay? Aliens! That's right, not Alien, Aliens. Now, I know...
Aliens has basically become a
Yeah, we know, Metroid. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know what everyone's going to say. Well, what about Metroid? And yeah, you guys beat me to the punch. What about Metroid? And what about that god-awful Aliens Colonial Marines? Throw those to the side. Here's what I want them to do. I want them to make a 2D Alien game where you play as 2 Marines going around shooting alien eggs and alien, like different...
Wait. Don't they have that already on the DS? The
That's
Alien
called
game?
Contra.
They have Alien.
No. They had an Alien game on the DS.
Yeah, but that was more Metroidvania. I'm talking like a straight run and gun.
Okay.
Like vehicles. I want it to be like Contra because look, those people know what they're doing. Except the Contra team is gone. So give it to Way Forward. They made the Contra 4 on the DS. Like, look, just give us a run and gun alien game where you shoot aliens in the face. With like different weapons and stuff. I want to play that because I haven't played a good Alien game since the arcade Alien vs. Predator. No, I didn't play Isolation. I'm sorry, I didn't. I got it. I haven't played it yet. I heard it's good, but I started and I just can't get into it. Like after about 10 minutes, I'm like, this game's not really for me. So with that being said, anyone want to pimp out anything before we wrap things up?
I'm trying to go my channel, so subscribe and then like and share my videos.
Or else he will find you and hunt you down.
And make you play Mario Maker until you're dead.
Yeah, he will make you play Mario Maker until your thumbs break and your eyes bleed. And you just you start talking like this. It's me, Mario.
Well, there's a creepypasta story for anybody who's interested.
I won't do that.
No, thank you.
Anyone got anything else they want to pimp out?
Well, all I can say if anyone wants to drop a line, well, you can catch me on Google Plus with this username. As this has been Triple M, the Lone Wolf, and Funds for Games that forms into a fireball. Thank you for that illusion, Charmander. And also picks up my artworks.
I just have a warning for all the peeps out there in the community. Stay off that West Coast OJ Scissor.
For me, this is Lego 1/2 for Endure, and basically I just Friday. If you want to know the truth about, again, just like we talked about the whole thing with resolution or whatever, but if you want to know what's going on with the 4K and the real story behind it, as from a game developer side and everything, I have a video on the channel that just went up Friday talking about 4K and Sony and their 4K stuff, so check it out. That's about it I can say. Thanks for having me on your podcast, Red.
Okay, anyone else got anything they want to pimp out?
I mean, if anybody's interested, go. Yeah,
How about
I'll go.
And then the doctor with his FU mannequin. Okay, go, Dragon.
Yeah, anybody interested in some like out of their kind of like theories and stuff, you guys can go ahead and like subscribe and maybe like my videos. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, Doctor, go.
Um, play some damn Pokken. That's what I'm doing right
I
now.
know.
And be on the lookout for OTR number 11 this coming Thursday. I do apologize about the Saturday. People were available, and I did forget when I scheduled it. It was Easter Sunday. People have families. I get it. Bastards. But yeah, I'm gonna reschedule that. I'm gonna reschedule it. So just I would say once again, it's 8 people, no more, no less. It's gonna be a private lobby. If not, it just won't take place. Um, oh shit, talking, booze, a mic, but fun. But be on the lookout for that. And play Pokemon, bitches.
Don't know.
You addicted. It's just another crack. First platoon, now Pokken. Damn.
No, first it was Splatoon, then the Xeno crack, and now
Zen
it's
Xenocrack.
Pokemon.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. That's right. The Xeno crack. I'm still addicted to Xeno crack. I just I
Yep.
got to get back into it because every time I started to get back into it, something comes up and then I got to go do something else. Okay.
Unlike you, I'm not addicted. I'm not addicted to any of these cracks right now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Anyone else got something they want to pimp out?
All I just want to say is, I think I'm gonna make my Magician Secrets podcast every Friday or Saturday, depending if if anybody else is doing a podcast. I'm gonna try to make it, and remember not to drink too many screwdrivers. So
I drink screwdrivers all the time, my friend, all the time, and they are delicious, especially with gin. Who else?
I think that's about everybody.
Yep.
I guess that's. But Double M, you got to pimp something out.
Huh?
Your gamer's tech, man.
Oh yeah. If you go on my channel, If you go on I've got the gaming tech cast episode 3, and Triforce is in there. Me and Red Fox talking over some stuff. So yeah, check that out. It was a pretty good podcast. I enjoyed
There
it.
you go. So into the damn crack, he forgot his own phone.
I'm not even playing the game. That's the worst part. I'm actually
You
not playing the game
addicted.
right
You
now.
addicted. Okay, and this is me, Mr. Red Fox. I'm glad you guys could join us. We actually stayed mostly on task. I thought it was going to be only 2 hours and 20-some minutes, so it didn't go too far. Thank God. Okay, peace out. Stay tuned. Next week I'll be doing a live review of Batman vs. Superman. I hope only people who actually watched it can be there because we're going to be breaking it down. There will be spoilers. Don't cry. I'm not saying it's a great film, but it's not as bad as people may think. And my views may change over the thing because I watched it 3 times. I got to let it stew, macerate. Look forward to that. No BS Busters next week. It'll be a BS Busters, but we'll be reviewing that film. Bye.
Scissor.
So,
Sunny